All right. Today we're going to talk about chemical equations, okay? Today and tomorrow and probably Wednesday will be the easier part of the week. Thursday and Friday, and I'm saying will be difficult, but this is review. This is 100% review. This is chemical equations and aqueous solutions. I don't know why the aqueous solutions didn't show up. Chemical equations and aqueous solutions. A lot of the stuff is review. Some of it is not, okay? The stuff that is not review, thank you. Let's sit it right there. The stuff that is not review is something I find very interesting, redox reactions, okay? We'll talk about those when we get there. That's pretty much the only thing that is new from this unit. A chemical equation is, you can read it. We all know what a chemical equation are. Reactants on the left, products on the right. But they must be balanced. Do we change the subscripts or the coefficients? Coefficients. State symbols, we know that it's solids indicated by an S. NaOH. S means it's a solid. Sodium hydroxide, that's how I would read that. Liquid is an L. What's one? There's very few things that are liquid, correct? Give me an example of something that's liquid. Both of y'all are all correct. Water and mercury. Bromine would be another one, okay? Very few things. NaOH is not a liquid, okay? NaOH is not a liquid. Gas is a G. Gas is a G, which gotta have no gases. On the AP test, you don't need to know the state symbols unless explicitly asked for. Aqueous solution is not on there, I guess, because that's not a state. That's AQ. Like sodium hydroxide in water would be AQ. So we're going to talk about today balancing. I'm not really going over this. Anybody have any question about balancing? Somebody say yeah. Okay. You know how to balance. Aqueous means it's dissolved in water. Okay, water is typically the solvent. Okay, in an aqueous solution, water is the solvent. Okay, water is the solvent. Yes. Fog.
What's a solvent?
The air. The atmosphere. Aqueous are very, very important. We deal mostly with aqueous solutions. Okay, mostly with aqueous solutions. We talked about molarity. Typically, our solvent was typically always water. To really build upon that, electrolytes. Okay, this is something that's semi-new, semi-not new. Electrolytes are compounds that, when dissolved in water, conduct an electric current. Okay, some things conduct electricity very well. They're called strong electrolytes. Okay, strong electrolytes. Some things do not conduct some conduct them poorly. They are weak electrolytes, okay? If they're poorly, they're weak electrolytes. And then some do not conduct them at all. And those are called, hold on. If they don't conduct them at all, they're called non-electrolytes. I don't have that on there, okay? If they don't conduct them at all, they're a non-electrolyte. Yes, sir.
Yeah, not to do it.
The big thing to determine someone's electrolyte is the charge, okay? Whether it's an ion or a polar molecule. A non-polar molecule will be a non-electrolyte. Okay. A strong electrolyte conducts electricity very well. This happens because they're completely ionized or completely dissociated. Okay. It's the key thing there. They break ions electric charge. There are 3 types. All the strong acids are strong electrolytes. What are the 7 strong acids? What are the 7 strong acids? Sulfuric. No. No. Hydrobromic, we're at 3. Hydroiodic. Nitric acid. So I've heard hydrochloric, hydrobromic, hydroiodic, hydrochloric, nitric, sulfuric. I did, okay. That's what it goes on. Nitric. Chloric and perchloric acid. Okay. Chloric and Did you say that? You said phosphoric. Okay. Something is a strong acid because it dissociates 100%. Hydrofluoric, you may look up somewhere and it may say it is a strong acid. That is wrong. Hydrofluoric acid dissociates somewhere between 95 and 99%. Okay. but the definition of a strong acid is dissociates completely. Okay, completely. Now the other thing are the 7 strong bases, or 8 strong bases. What are the 8? First off, what does the base have to have? We know acids have an H. What do bases have?
pH level below.
Yeah, but what do they have? It's above 7. pH level above 7 is a base.
Carbon. Someone bust up the periodic table.
It has to have hydrogen.
Helium.
Or no, acid has to have
Lithium.
hydrogen.
Oxygen.
Lithium? Oxygen.
Hydroxide.
Hydroxide.
They have to have hydroxides. They have to have hydroxides. Okay. Bases have to have hydroxides. There are 8 strong bases. They all occur in group 1 and group 2 of the periodic table. Okay. So if you look at your periodic table, it is, well, first off, we know that HOA, hydrogen hydroxide, is that a strong base?
That's water.
That's water. Okay, so they are lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Okay, so pretty much everything in group 1 other than hydrogen and francinium. And then group 2 would be calcium, strontium, and barium. Okay, so beryllium and magnesium are not strong bases. Okay, what? Yes. Okay. And I'll post this video too. Okay.
What makes something a strong base?
So 8 strong bases, 7 strong acids. And then our third type of strong electrolyte are soluble salts. How do here we go. Soluble salts, we'll talk about those here in a few seconds. Strong acids produce H plus in water. Right part. Memorize those. Memorize those. Sorry, I didn't realize that. Got a little ahead of myself. So strong bases, they must have hydroxide. Okay. They break apart 100% water. Memorize those. Once again, those are group 1 and group 2, not beryllium, not magnesium. How do you know magnesium hydroxide is not a strong base? Magnesium hydroxide? Who's ever drank magnesium hydroxide? I'd probably say pretty close to most of you. Milk of mag? Anybody ever drank milk of mag?
What?
Milk of magnesium.
What else is MgOH?
That's its biggest thing. MgOH, milk of magnesium, is what it is. It's old people drink it for like stomach issues. Okay. I wouldn't be shocked if you had it at some point in time in your life when you were a young child or something like that. Okay. But milk of magnesium, it's kind of clumpy. Okay. Because that's that magnesium hydroxide doesn't break down completely. Okay. It breaks down some. Okay. It breaks down some.
Is that why it's not a strong base?
Yes, because it doesn't break down 100%. Yes, ma'am. Soluble salts. Okay. Soluble salts are ionic compounds. A soluble salt dissolves in water. You use your solubility rules. That's really where we're going today. We did this last year. Okay, you actually had part of this quiz last year. Okay, in the year, and we're going to do some more with it today. Today with the electrolytes. Okay, keep in mind electrolytes. Strong electrolytes are strong acids, strong bases, and soluble salts. Okay, weak electrolytes are weak acids, weak bases, and pretty much a weak acid is going to be anything that's an acid other than those 7. Okay, so phosphoric acid would be a weak acid. It would be a weak electrolyte. What did you say? Nitrous acid would be a weak acid because it is a weak, and so it would be a weak electrolyte. Strong bases the same way. Would be a weak acid. Yes, ma'am. So ergo, they would be weak electrolytes. Non-electrolytes are things that are non-polar. Okay. So solubility rules, hope you remember these. Everything containing NO3 are soluble. Those are the last things we did last year. All things containing acetate are soluble. All chlorates are soluble. All chlorides are soluble with the exception of Ag, PV, and Hg22+.
What makes something strong? I remember like a little bit.
They dissolve in water.
Cation of the base, anion of the acid.
They just, I hate to tell you, pretty much memorize these. I memorize what's soluble, okay? And I assume if it's not soluble, it's insoluble, okay? I mean, you're going to come to this. Anything with group 1 would be soluble. I mean, and here's the insolubility. There's the insolubility way. Group 1 is always soluble. NH4 is always soluble. My advice, write these down, figure these out. I mean, as you use them, I know not all nitrates are soluble. Okay, I know that. Okay, I know that everything in group 1 is soluble. Okay, I know acetate is soluble. I know that chlorates are soluble, CLs are soluble, sulfates are soluble. Okay, I just memorize those and then assume everything else is insoluble. I mean, there's some exceptions. And like even like you can look at the exceptions. OHs are insoluble. Okay, but I know group 1 is always soluble. I've already learned that. NH4 is always soluble. I've already learned that. Okay, and I know that strong bases are soluble. Group 1, then plus Ca, Sr, and Ba are the strong bases. Okay, so that's just kind of how I remember that. A weak electrolyte or poor conduction electricity, they did not associate. There are 3 types: weak acid, weak base, and the third one being moderately soluble salts. So this is the things that barely dissolve. So that would be like the things that barely, like somewhat soluble. I don't know if that said that in there. So like 12. So like it's not 12. Like one of them says hot water. It's like silver acetate is slightly soluble, so that would be a weak acid. Okay, that would be a weak electrolyte. Not really add to that. Non-electrolytes are things that do not thing. So things that are non-polar are non-electrolytes. Okay, things that are non-polar are non-electrolytes. Sugars are non-electrolytes. Okay, I think that I would hope that when you're all little in your 5th and 6th grade science class, that your teacher went through electrolytes. Okay, like a watermelon is an electrolyte. Okay, a watermelon is an electrolyte. You can actually, you can charge a phone with a with a watermelon. Okay, with a watermelon, that's an electrolyte. Okay, if you look at like Gatorade's, it's what they use the term electrolytes in there. If you look at those, are a lot of things that dissolve easily. Okay, if they dissolve, they're an electrolyte. You can thank the University of Florida for that. Did you know that's where it was invented? No, that's where it was invented. Gatorade was invented for the University of Florida for their football players. Yes. I got you now. I thought about it. So, any questions about today? Today you have a quizzes. It is a long quizzes. No, that was. Don't you wish you had that paper you saw on my desk? You have a quizzes. It's covering up electrolytes and solubility.